last time the message was, मेरा प्रभु अंतर बैठा वीखै, गुर प्रसादी मिले सोई जन लेखै, नानक नाम मिले वड्याई पूरे गुर ते पावने-आ. The Supreme Lord, the Creator, watches everything from within, from inside. When you just think of this statement alone, it basically frees you up from the bondages of any kind of prayer, because you don't need to say anything. You don't need to ask for anything. Why? Because He is already watching from inside. Before your words come out of your mouth, He already knows it. So why bother? Why not to leave everything to Him? Leave everything, what is happening is happening. And that is the only thing that is going to happen. No amount of pleading is going to change that decision. We are so used to this. No, but I don't like this, I want to change it. So I'm going to go to my church, to my temple, to my mosque, to my synagogue, and I'm going to pray and ask Him to change it. And we fall into that trap every moment of our life. Every single moment of our life, we fall into that trap. We completely forget that He already knows it, and if it is happening because He knows why it is happening. We may not know, and we may not even understand. If we know it, we may not even understand. But we question it anyway. We waste so much energy just in fighting the will, rather than submitting and saying, Thy will be done. No, I'm going to fight it. And the message last time was, why are you fighting? Don't you know He already knows it? Mera Prabhu antar baitha dekhe. My Lord is sitting inside me and is watching everything. Very simple statement, but very profound. It basically revolutionizes all of the previous thought processes of all of the organized religions in the world, bar none. No exception to that rule, because every organized religion says, pray to Him. So much so that the science is conducting experiments and publishing position papers on the power of the prayer. And we don't at all. Being a scientist, I should know at least this much, that when I pray and ask for a change, there are only 50-50 chances. Unless the chances are 90, 95, 99%, how do you know the prayer is working? If the proportion is at best 50-50, you say something should happen, it happens, it is in your favor, it doesn't happen, it isn't in your favor. Those are the only two possibilities. But no, hospitals are conducting experiments. Power of the prayer in healing of a patient. Then they say, not only that now they are conducting experiments. How many people join in that prayer? Does the value of the prayer go up? Well, that's a human mind. As if a lot of people are yelling and screaming, he's going to pay attention. If only one is, he's not going to pay attention. They start playing statistical game even with the Creator. It's mind-boggling. Completely logical, intelligent people making such choices. Mera Prabhu antar baitha veke. He's watching everything. Gur prasadi mile soi jan lekh hai. It's only His grace. It's only His blessing. It is only the benediction. Whosoever gets it, gets it. If it is not coming to you, it was not meant to be. You're getting angry or jealous is not going to make any difference. You just pray for His grace. Nanak naam mile vadiyai pure gurte paavni-aa. You just follow the true master, the complete master, and pay attention to that, and that's it. Your effort should be to be in the company or to be under the guidance of those who are walking ahead of you. That's basically it. Be in that company. That becomes your support mechanism. That is what Sangat means. The word Sangat. Sangat is not a club. It is not a fraternity. It's not a group. It's not a mob mentality. Sangat means congregation of those who are walking on the path. Whosoever joins them, they walk too, because that's all they're going to tell you. Come along. In that journey, some are few steps ahead, some are just starting. It doesn't matter. There is no distinction made. If this Sangat is making a distinction that I am senior and you are junior, then that's not a Sangat. The definition of Sangat means everybody is exactly the same until they reach the highest possible potential. Unless there is a Buddha enlightenment, everybody is the same. Only Buddha stands alone, and he will tell you that I don't want to stand alone. I am like you. So much so, there is a statement by Buddha. A very interesting statement. He says, if you meet a Buddha on the road, kill him. Look at the intensity of the statement. If somebody is behaving as superior to you, that means he's more egotistical. He's not gone anywhere. If somebody tells you, I am a Buddha, kill him. Because the Buddha will never say that. Not only that he will not say that, he will not feel that, he will not behave like that. No action will be trying to make you feel smaller or inferior or junior. Anyone who does that is a direct indication that hasn't gone anywhere. There's a beautiful metaphor I'd like to share with you. Two childhood friends, as the luck would have it, one became the king of the country and the other turned out to be the most popular saint of his time. And in his travel, somebody told him that the state you are passing through actually belongs to your childhood friend. So I'd like to meet him. Okay, so message was sent to the king that your childhood friend is passing through your territory and he wants to meet you. The king decorated the entire country, cleaned out everything. Absolutely, he's preparing for him as if some bigger king, higher level king is coming to meet him. As he started to walk in the direction of his palace, one of his disciples points to him. The king is trying to impress you with his riches. Look how he has decorated the entire kingdom. He said, okay, I can see that. So before stepping out, he went to a pond, took a dip in the pond and smothered his entire body with the dust. Ends up in the court. King looks at him, gets from his throne and goes and embraces him anyway. The childhood friend. Asked him to sit down next to him, but he is now burning with a curiosity. He says, just tell me, I thought I had asked them to clean the entire area. How did you get into a dirt? Where did this happen? I need to know that. He said, no, it isn't the fault of your servants. Since you are so intent on showing your riches, I thought I should show you my poverty. King got up from, asked him to get up, said, let's meet again. Neither you have gone any place, nor I have gone any place. We are exactly the same as we were children. If you are impressing me with your riches, I'm going to impress you with my poverty. Two egos. You are just as egotistical as you are as a child. And I, being a king, is supposed to be egotistical, but you are a saint. You are not supposed to have that level of ego. But that's how the mysticism works. those who thought he was the perfect master and were following him suddenly discovered, if he thinks like that, where are they going to lead us? In Sangat there is no higher or lower, better or worse, male or female, none of that. They are just co-travelers walking side by side. And if you find such company, then this thing will happen, which is next hymn. Aatam raam pargaas gurte hovai. The real light, Aatam, inside. Pargaas means the light. The inner light can only be blessed and guided by the one who has gone there, been there. You can call him a guru, a master, a co-traveler, it doesn't matter. If you have found that company, then the possibility of inner light shining becomes very, very pure. Why is that? Why so much insistence on the guidance of the one who has gone ahead of you? The answer is ha-umai mail laagee gur sabdee khovai. Ha-umai means the ego, mal means the impurity. The impurity of the ego can only be highlighted by the one who has gone there. You can't see your own ego. It is such a hideous thing. You cannot free yourself by yourself from your own ego. And you have to have the confidence and trust of someone. When that someone points out to you, watch out. That you don't lash back and say, who the hell are you? Rather than you can say, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't even think about it. Thanks for pointing it out. Rather than showing gratitude, you end up strengthening your own position. You start fighting for your logic because you have taken a stand. Now, whether right or wrong, you are not going to move from the stand, you are going to defend it. And you see that in every walk of life, in day to day, every single one of us, we know that. We face it every living moment of our life. All disagreements, all butting of the heads is because of I have taken a stand and now I am going to fight for it. I am going to defend it. In every single relationship that happens. Then you want to show your poverty and take pride in that. You have all the riches. My empty hand is just as important as your full hand. The ego has just made a declaration. And only the one who is actually there, they can point to both of them. What are you doing? The reality is that in that episode, the king was way ahead of the saint. King was able to see his ego and his friend's ego before the friends could be pointed out. He fell into the trap and he continued all the way to the end. and went ahead and declared his ego. When the ego is that intense and so subtle that you don't see it, you need someone else. But what good that someone else is going to be if you don't have that trust, if you don't have the confidence? That's the first requirement of spiritual life. The first condition. That doesn't mean that you trust everybody and everything. But once you have chosen that, you stay with it. There is a Zen master story that a Zen master had stopped taking the disciples. He declared, I will not take any more new disciples. And one of the young men said, I am going to be your disciple. You just tell me, what is your condition? Now all his other disciples are watching. And he comes, tell me what you want. And the master says, walk through that fire. He walked through the fire. Nothing happened to him. Now, the master is trapped. What should he do? He gave him a test, he passed it. He takes him to the top of a hill and says to him, can you jump from here? Before anything happened, he jumped. He was just going to say, don't. I'm just asking you. But there was no time. He just jumped. He lands on the opposite side of the hill, safe and sound. Everybody is running, thinking that he is actually going to be crashed. Falling from that height is no way to save a body. Everybody goes there and is standing up and is laughing. Now the master is angry. I just asked you, can you jump? I didn't tell you to jump. Why did you do that? And he says, don't ever give me an order that you don't mean. If you don't have the confidence in yourself, don't send it out. The story says that disciple got the enlightenment at that moment. The master is still waiting. No gap between the instruction and the execution. When you do have this kind of a trust in somebody, then go with it. But if there is an iota of a doubt, don't. Keep looking. You need that level of confidence. Because that is the only person who can guide you to the next level of consciousness. Ha-umai laagee gur sabdee tove. Sabdee means the word. He's going to give you the word, and if you don't take the word and believe in it, the ego is not going to be washed away. Not possible. Man nirmal andin bhagtee raataa bhagat karay har paavni-aa. Because that's the only instruction that gur, that master can give you, which is man nirmal and then bhagtee raataa. With a clear mind, with a clean mind, a dedicated mind, just do the meditation. That's it. He's not going to put any conditions. He's not going to create any set of rituals for you. He's not going to have any demands on you. He's just going to say, this is what I am doing, you do too. That's it. It's done. Man nirmal and then bhagtee raataa. And then, day and night. Whatever time you find, stay in the meditation. Bhagat karay har paavni-aa. It is with that bhagtee, it is with that meditation that you will reach to the highest consciousness. Ha-umai jee-o aap bhagat karan, avraa bhagat karaavani-aa. You surrender to those who aap bhagat karan. If your guide, if your guru, if your master is only telling you to do something, but himself is not doing it, stay away from it. He or she must do it first. Only then tell you, look, do what I am doing. But if he is not doing, it's a prerequisite. Aap bhagat karan. Isn't it applicable everywhere in our life? If the parents tell a child to do something and themselves do something totally opposite, would the child follow? Wouldn't there be a confusion all around? Wouldn't there be a revolt? Sooner or later that child is going to rebel and say, why are you asking me? You don't do it. In spirituality, a spiritual partner means exactly that, a partner. Whatever you're doing, he or she is doing. Ha-umai jee-o aap bhagat karan, avraa bhagat karaavani-aa. Then they can say to the others, you also do meditation, you also do bhagtee. But if they haven't done, you can't. Why not? What is the problem here? Let's say that they have done it and they have achieved it and they don't want to do it. What's wrong with that? The problem is that as you travel and you run into situations, you're going to turn to that guide and say, I am running into this situation, help me. If that person hasn't gone through those situations, how is he going to guide you? Sooner or later you're going to get stuck. This is exactly what happened with Gautam. Gautama the Buddha, for 12 years. Every year he changed the master, simply because of that. Whatever the master will tell him, he'll do it with so perfection. And he'll run into say, now next what? But those masters were honest. They said, that's as far as I can take you. You need to go to the next one. And he kept on changing. Because he kept on running into the problem. And the master couldn't solve the problem. All he could do was, I'm going to pass you on to the next one. At least he was lucky that there was a basic honesty in the master who said, I can only bring you up to here. 99% of those type of masters will say, no, you still need to stay here with me. They will make up something, but they won't let you go. in the spiritual world. Remember the definition? Truth can never be 99%. It's either 100% or not at all. If the 100% honesty is not there, you are not going to grow spiritually. That's also a requirement when you are doing self-analysis. You sit down and you are analyzing yourself. And the voice comes from within and you explain it away. Because you are in denial, you are not facing it. The inner is saying, this is you. And you say, no, that's not me. That's somebody else, not me. When somebody is pointing, you have still the anger, you have still the greed, you still have the ego. No, I don't have it. I don't see it. You need that level of absolutely brutal honesty with yourself. How do you maintain that level? You just remind, he's watching me from inside. I can explain it away to the outside world, but how I'm going to explain away to him? When you remind that, you become brutally honest with yourself. It's the first requirement to rise spiritually. A brutal honesty. And with that comes the power to listen to the brutal honesty. But look, we have a saying in our language, oh, the truth is bitter. Isn't it amazing? Shouldn't the lie be bitter? If the truth is bitter, how are you going to grow? Look what we have done. Oh, this is a bitter truth. I cannot swallow it. Mysticism and spirituality is nothing but the truth. So if it is bitter for you, how will you swallow it? How will you grow? ha-umai jee-o bhagat karan avraa bhagat karaavani-aa tin bhagat janaa ko sad namaskar कीजिए जो an din har gun gaavani-aa. Says it. Those type of energies are rare. And if you get one, hold on to it. Sad namaskar कीजिए. Hold on to them. You won't find too many. That's a rare breed. If you get one, hold to it. Why? Because they are the only one who can tell you, Jo andin har gun gaavani-aa. For them, there's only one topic. Only one conversation. And that is his praise, his songs, his characteristics, his qualities. That's all they talk. That's all they discuss. आपे करता कारण कराय. Remind yourself all the time. आपे करता कारण. Karta means the doer, karan means the cause of it. He is the doer and he is the cause of that doing. Hence, there is no question why he is doing. That question is invalid in spirituality. In this world, we always say, I don't know why the hell he made it. There are songs written on this. दुनिया बनाने वाले क्या तेरे मन में समाई, ये काहे को दुनिया बनाई? Hey, what happened to you? Why did you create this mess? That's what the song means. What kind of play is this? You are hiding and watching and having fun at my cost. I'm jumping from one to this to this to this. Remember the movie Devil's Advocate? Seen any one of you? Devil's Advocate? Remember the last dialogue? That was a profound statement by a non-believer. He says, look at how he has set up the world. First he gives you the capability, then he sets up the wrong, opposite rules. See, but don't touch. Touch, but don't taste. Taste, but don't swallow. And while you are jumping from one side to the other, he's laughing his head off. And the devil says, I better rather rule the hell than serve in heaven. That type of argument goes on in our mind all the time. Then what is the answer to all of that? There is no answer. That is the answer. That's why it is called a mystery. Mystery doesn't mean a riddle that you can solve. Mystery means something that can never be solved. That's why it is a mystery. The day it is solved, it will no longer be a mystery. The life is a mystery. Stop challenging it. You are not going to solve it. Surrender to his power. That's how he has set up the game. Ape karta karan karay. He is the cause. He is the doer. Why? Only he knows it. Anybody who pretends to answer that question is a liar. Now when you say that, 99% of the world population is against you. Why? Think about it.
Truth is bitter.
No. Their scriptures actually say that we know how he did it. Jewish scripture, Christian scripture, Hindu scripture, Muslim scripture, they all say we know how he did it. The reality, they don't know. They are lying. When you tell the world that he created the world, then after a while, he saw the world and he got so disappointed, he decided to destroy it all because it wasn't what he wanted. What kind of God is this? If he saw and didn't like, that means he didn't know it was going to turn out like that. How is he all-knowing then? Not only that, he didn't destroy it. Do you know, 5,000 years afterwards, the people are excavating and they are searching the ocean and the hills in the ocean trying to find Noah's Ark. And every time they find certain boat looking something, they jump up and down. We found the Noah's Ark, we found the Noah's Ark. Because if the Noah's Ark exists, They think that they are going to prove the Bible right. But they don't know. They are going to make their God an impotent individual who has absolutely no idea what he is making. And he's going to find out later on, oh my God, this is not what I wanted. I better redo it. Destroy whatever you made, recreate it all over again. Is that doing a God a favor? How are we defining our God? How is he all-powerful, all-knowing, omniscient? It didn't take him too long to see what he's for. Oh, the man has gone corrupt. Why did you give him the capability to become corrupt? You ask them that question, get ready to die. Because they are not going to give you the answer, they're just going to kill you, that's all. At least there is a brutal honesty here. It says, nobody knows, nobody is going to know. Because in order to be certain of something, you have to witness it. And when he created, there was no witness. It's a very common sense thing. He's the only one. There is no other like him who can say, I was there when he was doing this. That's why the concept of devil is so dangerous. It's like digging your own grave and you will never be able to get out of it. Because the moment you ask, who created the devil, you are done. If the devil is something bad, why did you create it? The moment he says, I didn't know, he was going to change his mind. Isn't it? That's what it says. Angel Gabriel, is that the name?
Yeah.
Who changed his mind? Who gave him the capability to change the mind?
Creator.
Now you are done. Now this is no more a God. Who does not know that my creation is going to get out of my hand? An ordinary man can say that. How can the God say that? That something will get out of my hand. And not only that, will become my opponent. Whatever I do, he's going to try to undo it. That means the God is neither all-knowing nor all-powerful. Two of the three qualities already gone. The honest thing is, आपे कर्ता कारण karay. The self, karta means the doer, karan means the cause of it. He is the doer, he is the cause of it. Gur prasadi har mane vasaa-ay. And anybody who gets that into his heart, it is his grace, not the doing of the individual. It is his grace. Sada mukta har man vasaa-ay, sahje sahaj samaavani-aa. Such type of souls are forever free from the bondages of the cycle of life and death. Bhau karma kamave mukta na paa-ay. Any other actions, karma means the rituals. All other types of rituals will not free you from the bondage. No exception to this. If you don't believe that statement, go find out. The Pope in Rome, who has dedicated the entire life, is still sitting. He gets angry, he gets annoyed, he gets happy, he gets unhappy. He hasn't freed himself from any one of the things. He goes around the world lecturing and telling them, this is not right, this is not right, this is not right, God doesn't want you to do this, God doesn't want you to do this. He is supposed to be the highest spiritual existence in the world. Same thing with the Islam. Ayatollah comes in, brings in a revolution in Iran, and what does he do? Capture 450 people and throw them in the jail so that America can kneel in front of for 1 year, 459 days. And he's supposed to be the holiest man in the entire Islamic world, at least for Shias, if not for Sunnis. Right? They declare themselves to be spiritual, religious, closer to God. Their word is the commandment. How egotistical. They are supposed to be in direct touch with the ultimate creation, energy. Look at their behavior, day-to-day actions. It's not only Christianity or Islam. Look at the high priest of Jagannath Puri. Same problem. Jagannath Puri is the highest center for Hinduism. Out of the 4 centers, Jagannath is one of them. Same problem. All they are telling is, do this ritual instead of that. And that is it. The reality is, bahu karma kamave mukta na paaye. All rituals are going to keep you in bondage. Desantar bhave duje bhaa-ay khu-aa-ay. Desantar. 10 dimensions. You know what the 10 dimensions are? You know the 4 dimensions, right? North, south, east and west. Then northwest, southwest, right? Diagonally, that becomes 8. But if you go down and up, that adds 2. That's how it becomes 10. You can cover your 360 by 8, and you can cover up and down, makes 10. It says it doesn't matter where you go. Where do you wander? Everything is going to attach you to the outside world. Desantar bhave duje bhaa-ay khu-aa-ay. Duje means the outside world. And khu-aa-ay means you are just going to get lost in the crowd. Kuwari honi. Just get lost. And if you follow that route and do not back up from there, birtha janma gavaa-i-aa bhagatee bin sabdee dukh paavni-aa. You would have wasted this complete opportunity of evolving to the spiritual level. It will be completely lost. And you will need to repeat it. So we will take a pause here. And now if there are any questions or comments, the lines are still open.